this is magnetically coupled circuit. The first question is to find the mutual inductance for K 0.5. So this mutual inductance is M. The mutual inductance formula is given by this K cert L1 and L2. Since the couple is between J2 and J4, so this J2 and J4 represent this L1 and L2. Then after you insert all the values, the M will be equals to J1.414 and the unit is ohms. The second question is to write the mesh equations for each loop. This circuit given two loops, so I stick this loop as loop I1 and this is loop I2. Okay, now let's write mesh equation for the first loop. Start from here. This is negative Vs plus all the impedance in this loop, so plus R1 plus J2 plus R2. This is I1 minus the current neighbor is I2, so R2 I2. So now what's the equation for this couple? This couple between J2 and J4 is mutually induced, not self-induced. Why? Because this J2 is at loop 1, while this J4 is at loop 2. So it is mutually induced. So now how to complete this equation? We know from here J2, I1 is the voltage across this J2. This J2 is coupled with this J4. So means that the voltage across here also induced by this current I2. So your equation will be M because of current I2, whereas M we got from 1 is J1.414 ohms. So now how to identify either this is positive or negative? You must consider both currents of I1 and I2. Look at here. This I1 is entering the undotted. Here is undotted and I1 is entering this undotted, so means that this I1 is negative. This I2 is entering the dotted, so means that positive for I2. So negative positive we got negative. So means that for this Mi2 is negative Mi2. We've already completed this equation, so we close this by equals to 0. Now let's write mesh equation for this loop I2. R2 plus J4 minus J at C plus of current I2 minus the neighbor of R2 I1. Now let's consider the couple of J4 and J2. So means that the voltage across here also induced by this current I1. So the mutual M because of current I1. Positive, negative, you must look at two currents, I1 and I2. I1 is undotted, I2 is dotted. So here is negative and this is positive. Negative, positive, so we got negative. Then equals to 0. Okay, now let's recap. For loop I1, this is the general mesh equation. For couple, for loop I1 because of current I2. How to determine this sign, either negative or positive? You must look at both currents of I1 and I2. I1 entering undotted, so this is negative, and here is positive because I2 is dotted. So we got negative. Then for loop I2, here is the general mesh equation and the couple because of current I1. You are in loop 2, so means that because of current I1. Negative, positive, again you must look at both currents of I2 and I1. I2 is positive and I1 is negative. So negative and positive we got negative. Okay, so that's all for this question.